What's up, lads? Roy CS. And basically, what I'm going to be talking about in this video is something that you probably are already aware of, but it's still something that I wanted to talk about. Now, the game we play, Counter-Strike 2, of course, we know there's a market involved, right? There's an economy. Anytime an economy is involved, we know there's going to be, peaks and crashes. It's just something normal that happens in real life and anything with a stable economy. But recently, to be specific, 2 weeks ago, many other people, and including myself, noticed a ridiculous market crash. How I figured out it was starting to happen was sometimes I'll look at my inventory. I'll go to, Steam on the web. That way I can use the extension and I see values and stuff like that. And I see my inventory has dropped pretty substantially. This is a screenshot I have. For the longest time, the field tested gold arabesque was reaching 2.7 to 3k, like stable, ever since the April announcement. And now we are down to 2.1k, and that happened literally over a few days, and it's been like that ever since. This was 2 weeks ago. The butterfly Doppler kind of tanked as well. I'm not going to go over every single thing, but those were the two big ones that made me realize what was happening. So of course, when that applies to high tier items, and it's going to apply to everything, all liquid items, all cheap items, everything in the game basically gets affected from that. I skimmed through some of the skins. One of my gloves is a really good example of this. Here's the price trend on the Steam market, and I know it's not buff. I'm not using cash value, but I'm pretty sure the price trend would be somewhat of the same, even though this is Steam balance. But as you can see, you have your April peak when CS2 was announced. That was the peak for everything, highest prices in the history of Counter-Strike. And then you can see kind of just a downtrend happening slowly, but over time, all the way to now, which I would say is the lowest I've seen skins since the announcement of Counter-Strike 2. Another thing I wanted to show you is the price trends for cases. Now I'm going to show two different cases as an example, but here's the Dreams and Nightmares case. You can see the April peak. Any, sort of spike you see, the highest spike is most likely in April. But as you can see, cases are pretty stable. Most of them right now sitting at their peak price or just about under it. And the reason is skins as a whole, the economy's falling, but people are still opening cases. People want to open cases, and it's just something that players are not going to stop doing, especially with a bunch of big YouTubers coming in to open cases. That's basically something that's not going away, in cases, especially older ones, are continuously getting more rare. So the case situation, it does make sense. Here's another case. This is the Horizon case. You see the April peak, and then you see now, which is literally at the same price. But yeah, what we're seeing is a crazy market crash. I want you to take a look at this. This is also something that many of you have probably heard of already, but if you haven't, this is data of Counter-Strike 2 concurrent players, monthly players, stuff like that. And this screenshot's about a week old, by the way. But last 30 days, we see the average amount of players, and that's concurrent, are down compared to September launch month and all the months before that. So the player count is going down. It is literally going down. So I showed you some pretty important things. Now, for the end of the video, I'm going to have two clear points. First is why this is even happening. Why is this happening? And secondly, the good news about this market crash. Well, you remember that screenshot I showed you about a minute ago of the player count? Well, that is a big reason as to why. We are losing players right now. People are not wanting to stay on the game right now. But what's the reason for that? Because of lack of content, lack of needed features that people are literally spamming to be added, like CL_Bob and the right hand bind, of course, for the console command, the content, the case that everyone thought was coming out. That stuff that we don't have, oh well, it'll get added, we know that. But something that we're not guaranteed of is, better vac system. I've heard so many people complain about the cheaters and stuff like that. And yeah, these patches are cool. The content that we're about to have soon, that's also cool. But some people just only want to see changes to vac, and it's completely understandable. Everything you have, basically, now take all of those factors, brew it, then you make a market crash potion. Literally, these are all the issues that have been built up ever since the limited test beta ended. And We did get the addition of community servers, which is brilliant. That is so good. I'm so glad that we have that now, and it only took them about 5 weeks, a week later than I predicted. But besides that, we're in the same boat than on launch day when there was just a lack of things to do. So people aren't necessarily into the game right now. And then of course, I'm just gonna mention this. I don't know if this is actually a factor as well, but I play FC24. I don't know if you guys know of that. It's the new football game. It's no longer FIFA. But some YouTubers on there were even talking about how their game, FC24, could have been hit with the, hype of Fortnite. Fortnite having a crazy update where they go back into the OG Chapter 1 map for only a month, but it's just something that gave Fortnite the opportunity to take over the world again, and a lot of FC24 players believe that hit their player count as well. No one wanted to stay on that game, and they even had a market crash as well with the players that you could sell on that game. So that's something also to be aware about. Then again, this market crash kind of was about to happen, and it was happening before Fortnite even announced that. So, and lastly, what would I say is good about this? Well, I'm gonna say the obvious good thing that came from all of this, and it is that if there's any skin you've been eyeing, if there's any knife you've been needing to buy, just anything at all, play skins, investment skins, liquid skins, anything you want that you're thinking about, this is absolutely the best time to buy it. This is a disastrous crash that will recover. It won't go back to its peak, but it's gonna be stable again. It'll probably go up. It's just, yeah, crashes are normal, but this is the worst one I've probably seen in a very long time. But thank you for watching. Sorry if I fucking waffled half of the video, but I'm just trying to tell you guys as much as I know. So thank you for watching. Thank you for the love on the channel. Thank you for 350 subscribers. I will see you on the next upload.